Introduction to marketing. Let me start by a very important concept in marketing mix modeling. That marketing mix modeling is a blend, a great blend actually, of art and science. The art part comes from the fact that when you apply marketing mix modeling, you really need to understand the context of the brand, their challenges, their marketing strategy, their communication strategy. This will allow you to better understand the context that you are modeling, and that's the art part of marketing mix modeling. And the science part is about understanding all the techniques that are out there that can help us model consumer behavior in order to understand what's the impact of media and marketing on key business KPIs, like, for example, brand awareness, brand traffic, sales, etc., etc. So this is the most important part that we need to understand when it comes to marketing mix modeling. It's not only about science, it's not only about art and marketing, it's the blend of the two. Understand the context of the brand, business challenges, understand the data science techniques, and use one another in order to better understand how media and marketing is being consumed by your customers in order to get the best response possible from them. What is marketing? There are many definitions of marketing. The one I prefer is the one that starts by the needs and wants of customers and designing the right product and services that will satisfy those needs. Then create an effective communication strategy that is able to communicate the right message to the right audience at the right time. Then, of course, continuous improvement is a must. The idea here is to collect all the data and all the feedback that is possible in order to improve the strategy as we go. Marketing mix modeling is one of the pillars of this continuous feedback because it allows us to understand how customers have reacted to the different media and marketing activations in order to generate a response and adjust accordingly. Marketing is about value. And marketing strategy is centered around the value. So we start by understanding the value, then based on that understanding, we create the value, then we would need to capture that value and then maintain it. And by maintaining the value, we'll be able to claim back value from our customers. Let's discover together each step of the marketing strategy process. Understanding value. One of the most popular frameworks that one could use in order to understand value is the 5C framework. Understanding the company, understanding the competitors, understanding the customers, understanding the context, and understanding the collaborators, in no particular order. The idea is to be able to zoom in to each of those 5Cs and understand the particularities of them. For example, who are our customers? When do they buy? Where do they buy from? What communications messages they want to listen to? What are the channels that they are most exposed to? Our competitors, who are we competing with? What is their unique selling proposition? The company, what are our weaknesses? What are our strengths? The context, political, economic context, all matters. We need to understand the threats and the opportunities that the context give us as a brand. Collaborators is also another important component. We need to understand who we can collaborate with in order to better communicate the message, in order to better communicate the products and services and distribute them. So this is what we really mean by understanding the value. It's really researching those 5 components and try to understand them very much in details. Creating value. Creating value is about designing a customer-driven strategy. And to do that, there are 4/3 components that one can think of. The first one is segmentation. The second one is targeting. The third one is differentiation/positioning. Let's discover together what we mean by segmentation, targeting, and positioning. Market segmentation. Segmentation means dividing the market into groups of customers who exhibit homogeneous behavior or characteristics that would then justify a homogeneous product or service that could be offered to these groups of customers. There are different techniques, obviously, that will help us create this segmentation. Some of them are related to data science techniques, like, for example, cluster analysis or K-means could help marketeers execute this and be able to distinguish between groups of customers that share the same behavior or the same characteristics. The output of the segmentation is to create groups of customers that exhibit the same behavior or have the same characteristics. Now, what we need to do as a second step is to understand what are the segments that we want to target. That targeting will depend on many factors. Some of them are related to the segment themselves. For example, how big is the segment? What are the areas of the growth in the segment? How salient is the opportunity? And whether or not we are capable as a company to service that segment. So all these criteria will help us understand what are the segments that we need to choose to target. And that's what we mean exactly by targeting. Positioning. Once we chose the segments that we want to target, it is very important that we position ourselves within these particular segments. The idea here is to arrange for our products and services to have a clear, distinctive, and desirable position within those particular segments that customers of that segment would value. Here, it is super important that we understand the weaknesses and the strengths of the competition, so we craft ourselves what we call a unique selling proposition, something that is unique to us as a brand that is not offered by the competition. Generally, that uniqueness could come from two factors. The first one is the pricing, positioning ourselves as the lowest brand, or through value, where we try to justify higher prices through offering additional value. This is positioning. Capturing value. To capture value, brands need to articulate an integrated marketing program. In that integrated marketing program, there are 4 components, the famous 4 Ps that we call marketing mix. The first P refers to the product. The second one refers to the price. The third one refers to the promotions, and the fourth one refers to place. In this articulated, integrated marketing program, the company or the brand need to understand what product features they need to embed in the product in order for it to be salient and appealing to the target segment that they chose to target. They also need to understand what type of pricing they should be applying for that particular product or service, how they can promote that product, advertising, personal selling, promotions, public relations are some of the components that one could think of in order to promote a product. And of course, the place. How are we going to distribute our products? Are we going to go direct? Are we going to go through wholesalers? Are we going to go through retailers? All these things we need to think of when it comes to creating an integrated marketing program. But the most important thing that brands can have to think of is that these 4 components, the 4 Ps, need to be homogeneous with one another. So your promotions, your pricing, your place, and the product need to send the same message in order to be appealing to the customer segment that you are targeting. Understanding the marketing mix, or the 4 Ps that I just explained, is very important. Because by understanding the product, the price, the promotion, and the place, you are capable to give a context to your models. All brands are not born equal. Each brand will have a specific distribution strategy, will have a specific promotional strategy, and will have a specific product and service. Hence, when you start your marketing mix modeling project, you have to spend time to understand many things around the brand, including their integrated marketing program articulated around the 4 Ps that we have explained. Marketing mix modeling is very important in this context because it allows us to understand how the 4 Ps have worked together in order to deliver value to the company. And that's exactly what we do. We come at the end, we collect all the data about the 4 Ps and the context, of course, and we try to understand how these different components have impacted the brand, whether in terms of awareness, consideration, or in terms of sales. There is a strong relationship between marketing and marketing mix modeling, and I cannot insist enough in the importance of understanding marketing to succeed your marketing mix modeling project. In your first build, what you are doing is collecting all the data about the brand, the company, the context, the 4 Ps, in order to assess how the marketing strategy has worked, whether the pricing strategy worked, whether the communication channels work, and whether the distribution channels are really distributing our product the way we want. Once we create that first build, Obviously, we'll have feedback and data-driven decision that could be made based on the results of the MMM. And that's where MMM will then feed into the marketing strategy to tweak things and adjust them as we go. That's for you the nice blend that we have of art and science in the marketing mix modeling setting.